Welcome to the Nexus Unloaded podcast. This is Will Crozier.
And I'm Mikki Will. We are the founders of Nexus Performance. Joining us on this wild ride is our heavyweight coaching team, ready to unleash their expertise to solve any problems in your journey to getting strong and jacked.
Through our real-world experience, we hope to break things down in a digestible, applicable, and entertaining way.
So pump up the volume and let's get into this.
I don't like it tight on my head. It makes me uncomfortable.
Okay.
It's like wearing hats and beanies and stuff. I don't like it.
Yeah.
My head gets too hot.
That head heat.
Yeah. I worked it out at Nexus Games when I had that mullet protector on.
Yeah,
my head was sweating.
I had to roll.
And I was just like, I think I'm overheating because my hat's too hot. But it's also protecting me from the sun, so it's like a catch-22.
Double-edged sword. Yeah.
Correcto.
Well, welcome to the podcast for a new year.
2024.
We on our last episode went through a 2023, I guess, bit of a recap. And yeah, talked about the year and what we achieved and everything. And we thought, hey, if we kick off 2024 in the same sort of light and talk about what the plans are for this year. So as Nexus as a whole, personal goals, I haven't been having a lot of conversation with clients, so a little bit about that and about your own goal setting as well. We'll sprinkle in all that. But before we get into that, what's happening with you, Josh, as far as your training? I know it's just changed.
My training for this year or just in general?
Nah, right now.
Oh.
Right now. What's going on?
Changed it up a little bit. After combined like 6.5 years total coaching with Nexus through training and nutrition, I have shifted a little direction in relation to
goals.
No, goals are still the exact same. Like it's just under a different coach, just to get look at things through a different lens.
Sacked Will.
Yeah, sacked Wilbo. He got the flick. It's like, nah, sorry, mate.
No good.
No. Got to expand. No, it was more just coming down to the fact that
well, it is a bit of a change in goals. Well, it was a bit.
A little bit to a degree, yeah, but it's still like the whole end goal is still the same thing. Like similar to what the podcast we discussed about, making people better humans, athletes for the end goal, etc. It's like mine is still the exact same end goal of competing and platform performance and everything like that. Just looking at things through a little bit of a different lens. As I said, like in total with training and nutrition combined has been about 6.5 years total coaching with Nexus, as well as weekly mentoring with you, as well as doing the mentorship, as well as basically picking your brain any chance I've had on any topic. It was more just one of those things that 2023, my main goal was to build my business, build myself, work myself into the new role of earning the role as the head coach. And then from there, now it's just I wanted to look at continuing education again this year, because obviously I wrapped up uni last year. Didn't really have any set goals or particular courses or whatever that I'd had in mind to actually go and do. Having J-Mac come in here a couple of times and just sort of picking his brain about things and having different conversations over the journey. He's more or less, I guess, a little bit more like bodybuilding focused and
bikini focused.
He's the WBFF man.
I heard you. Yeah,
that's actually what I was doing. I was trying to keep that under wraps for the season and just surprise everyone. But
I'll see you doing your hip thrusts.
I don't hip thrust anything. And so I was like,
he does them in secret in the dark
with the lights off so no one can see.
Just comes in here.
Just in this room alone.
Yeah.
With the aircon pumping.
Super set with kickbacks. Yeah.
But yeah, it was more just literally just have someone take control of absolutely everything.
Yeah.
And essentially just think less and do more. Just do exactly what I'm told. Try something I've never tried before. Yeah. First week, I'm already eating things I've never thought I would eat. Purely because he's just told me, he's just like, just eat this for me. And I was like, you know what? I'm paying the money. I've invested. I want to learn. I want to try something different.
Absolutely.
Stick to it.
I'm assuming that over time there'll be an explanation as to.
Oh, he gave me explanations as to why I was eating everything. Like anything I've asked him, he's been like, "Yep, this is why, or this is that, etc." Like that's exactly what I wanted as well. Is I kind of said to him that I want education as much as I want coaching, just because, as I said, learning things through a different lens, seeing how other people view training and things like that. Obviously, he works with the guys at Prescript and he's heavily invested with them, and everyone just has different approaches in the way they look at things. So just getting a little bit of a different external view
a
and
wider lens as
Yeah.
to ways you can do things and how you do things and
yeah,
different
exactly.
coaching communications. Like, to me, that's one of the biggest skills that I like to learn when I'm either investing in a new coach or doing a new course is I'm not necessarily looking for new information or new answers or things like that, rather different ways in which I can share knowledge.
Yes.
So, like, I have certain phrases and things that I come back to time and time and time again that I know resonates with a lot of people, but sometimes if it doesn't, it's nice to find out a different way that you can communicate the same message.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
100%.
that's what I look for when I'm trying to invest in a course or a coach. Obviously, you learn things throughout the process, but I
yeah.
like to learn different ways in which I can share.
It's just little nuggets.
Yeah.
So in the mentorship, it's very common for the coaches in the Nexus mentorship to have done multiple other courses and mentorships and things. And I mean, we're in powerlifting or in the strength realm, there's a lot of crossover, you know what I mean? And I always say to them at the start, I'm always like, there's probably not going to be anything in this that is absolutely just going to blow your mind and make you go like, wow, like that is completely new. Like, but hopefully I can give you some information or a slightly different perspective or just some like little nuggets here and there, just that you can take or make you challenge your own beliefs, get out of your own little echo chamber a little bit, or just even if it's a cue like set in a slightly different way that
100%.
that works. So
that was the big thing was, as I said, like coming from an education perspective is literally wanting to learn this year, wanting to do some more external courses and things like that, not really knowing of anyone that I wanted to do, because as you said, like, once you we know programming, we know this, we know that, etc. There's nothing that's going to blow your mind. So this was my way of learning and finding a new lens to look through things and just continue to progress.
I often find like when you're doing it either through a coaching experience or a mentorship experience where there's more interactions and questions and answers and things like that, you can learn a lot better than courses. Like just having a pre-recorded course where you're like, okay, like I've just got to take this for what it is. There's no way that I can actually interpret it or like find different ways to interpret it by asking questions and things like that. So that's my only reluctance to doing like set pre-recorded courses, because like you can't really
need to ask questions.
That was a big thing for me. Is I'm very much a practical learner. Like even through uni, I made sure to turn up to every tutorial, workshop, practical thing, because that's how I learn. I'm more of a hands-on learner. That's why I liked the Nexus mentorship so much, because not only did we have the live call, then we had like the check-in education sort of, you can come in and just ask questions literally for an hour and stuff as well. So
the study sessions.
They're my favorite ones.
People just come in and chat shit. And then like even just having the Discord where people can just quite literally, hey, this is a client, or this is myself, or this is that they can just send through, and it's like, okay, this is answered immediately.
Yeah.
By a multitude of coaches. Like there's a bunch of us jumping in. Other people were chiming in and giving their opinion as well, which I think was awesome.
Yeah, you need that.
Yeah.
What's the initial plan with the diet? You get a shred?
So at the moment, we're just essentially trying to find, like, it's called more or less a restorative phase. So bringing down bringing down inflammation, essentially just trying to find like maintenance before we push a cut to keep cutting down. Just had all my bloods and stuff done. So just once they come back, I just check everything's in order, push that, and then push the cut and go from there.
Yeah.
And then strength back up. I still want to go back up to like 120, 125.
Oh, yeah, get juicy.
But just a lot leaner and healthier. Like I've really been, at the moment, as of today, I'm down to 108. So from comp, that's like 9.5 kilos down. I feel 1,000 times better. Like resting heart rate's down, blood pressure's down, my sleep is better, daily movement is better. I can come and do the conditioning classes without fucking dying. Yeah, I did.
You were very reluctant to doing those conditioning classes, but you did a lot of that initial weight loss. I did pretty much all of that with Jordan.
Yeah. So like the 8.5 kilos, I've only been with JMac for 2 days. So I did the 8.5 kilos with George. Everything was starting to feel better and just locked in and everything. So I was stoked with everything I achieved.
I'm sure with some of the gut protocols, you haven't told me much about it, but some of the little things that you mentioned, like things like that, you'll notice a little bit more, like just drop off from just
over
information
time,
and stuff.
that's one of those things that doesn't happen in the first 2 days. Like, if
Nah.
anything, you might even experience a little bit of gut inflammation because of the massive changes that
was one thing I got
occurred.
warned about. Yeah, was that like I'll probably over the first few days, like I'm eating a lot more like seeds and nuts and things like that I've just not eaten before. Kimchi, which I've never had before in my life. I'm still not sure how I feel about it. Beetroot, which I still think tastes like sour dirt, but I've been
beetroot's
trying
good.
to eat it.
Will's a beetroot man.
I love beetroot.
Just little things that like I've never done before.
But I definitely don't leave cold kimchi, just to clear that up.
No.
You give it a try, and then you just express that it's like, hey, this is not.
I was telling
It's fine
Josh
because
how
I just mix it in with everything, and then you don't taste it.
Yeah, that's
I just mix everything up together, and I'm just like.
I was telling Josh
Perfect.
before
Block
when I
your
did
nose and
bodybuilding, I was like, down to 70 kilos, literally on death's door diet. Like I would eat. Like I was literally putting spices on cauliflower and having that as a meal because like that's how fucking hungry I was, right? So just to give you
I
an
remember
idea,
doing that to broccoli.
yeah, I was like, oh my god, cauliflower with spices is the best thing ever. Like that's the mental state of hungriness that I was in.
Yeah.
And one day I went to a health store and they had like that jar of fucking sauerkraut, which is just fermented lettuce. A kind of ish. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Like what it is exactly, but
it's like pickled.
Kimchi's a fermented cucumber.
Even worse.
Yeah, something like that.
But it. But yeah, I remember going like, well, I mean, like there's next to no calories in it. They, touted gut health, all that crap. And then, I was like, maybe I can try this because I'll eat literally anything now. Hence cauliflower, but. That was, I quickly found out that was literally one of the things that even in that state, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I tried
sauerkraut.
I
took one bite of it and like, no. This is broken.
What was his?
I haven't fully asked about the kimchi.
Okay.
He just said, I know you're probably going to be hesitant to try this, but give it a crack for me for a week.
Some people
it's
love
only
it.
20 grams per meal. It is more or less to do with like the gut health sort of stuff, I'm assuming. As I said, restorative phase, reduce inflammation within the body.
Yeah.
Just sort of find like a base level so that we can find, okay, this is maintenance, this is deficit, like properly as quick as we can. Get the body just moving. Like he's dialed back my training from, I was doing 6-day push pull legs to now I'm doing 4 days upper lower.
Good.
Huge reduction in overall volume. Again, just to reduce down inflammation, get the body moving a bit better.
Was he proud of you for doing the conditioning classes already on your own accord?
No, because I'd done one.
Bullying
I'd done one. He wants me to do another cardio day, and I was like, look,
you can do it with Honza because I've got to tell Honza he's got to do it. So,
but even then, he started my conditioning like 20 seconds on, 100 seconds off. So I was like, good.
Yeah, you and Honza can do it.
By the way,
hey, don't you start with me? I haven't seen you. You can come and do it with me.
I usually start people at 15:45, but I mean, like that's just because it's easy math, and it's like every minute on the minute.
This is easy as well because it's 20 seconds on. It's 140 seconds off, so it's 2 minutes total, basically.
Yep.
Or it's 100 seconds off, so it's 2 minutes total. So for me, it was like, as soon as I worked out that math, and I only have to do 20 minutes of it, I'm like, that's 10 minutes.
When I say that's weak, but I don't really mean, because what a lot of the times you're looking for, like I'm sure he could have programmed like, hey, however long it is total, 20, 30 minutes or whatever, of just a straight, heart rate or whatever. But by adding in that 20 seconds in, that's what I mean. Like you can kind of like, rather than counting down that 20 minutes and going like, fuck, like 19 minutes to go, 18, you're like, a minute and a half to go, and then you do your thing, and it's like almost like it.
Which is for me,
can make it feel faster.
The rounds thing helps.
Yeah.
And if I'm sitting on the bike constantly, which I just can't do, I get so bored that I like either have to watch a video or something, and then same as you, right? The pace stops.
Get distracted.
Or you get distracted and you're like, all of a sudden you've gone from like 60, 70 RPM to like 40 and you're barely pedaling. You're like, okay, well, this is a waste.
Yeah.
So, just something to do. Something
ebb and flow with the movie.
Yeah. See how the body responds, see how it feels, and go from there.
I can't get bad.
Your training's changed up a bit too, Wilbo.
Yeah. Olympic weightlifter Will.
Yeah.
Definitely not staying.
Offering Ollie lifting classes coming soon.
Definitely not.
I don't think that'd be good.
Have you seen his Ollie lifts?
I can tell. Great. I can tell the.
We can get a couple of videos up. I got some. Cam, I got you
already. I've been mixing it up. Like I said at the end of in the last one, just trying to mix up training for a little bit of enjoyment and fun, because I know enjoyment and fun leads to effort, and effort leads to results, and you can slowly just just transition it into the goal over time. So yeah, I just need to tick that box first before I do that. Plus, it's just almost the same as you, just learning a couple of new things. I've always been hesitant to learn some of the older lifting side of the things just because we honestly haven't needed to so much. But I really enjoyed
it's not
like
to say
working
that it's
with
something you're going to largely implement or roll out in coaching and stuff. It's just
I think a lot of it can be. It's just
a couple of clients that express interest in it. It's nice to know that that's a skill that you
that's
could
it,
work
right?
with.
Like I did the off season with the footy boys last year a little bit. I Pierce, who's playing basketball, Paula, who's playing soccer, both, and a couple of others that do other sports. And it's like, hey, here's something that I should probably learn to be able to implement in their training. And like you, I like to do it myself because when I program it for somebody, I like to be able to think, I don't know,
I know
it's
how this
heaps
feels.
easy. Yeah, I know how it feels, and I know like what it what that feels like when you suck at it, and draw on my experience to give it to other people.
Yeah, 100%.
Relate a little bit.
You can put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah, like I would never prep with a bodybuilding coach that has never done bodybuilding. I'd never prep with a powerlifting coach that's never done powerlifting in their life because it's just there's things that you just don't fucking know. Honestly,
yeah.
You might know in theory, but the practical, like the
emotional,
like being outrageously
I think
fucking
that's the big
hungry,
thing. Emotional, mental side of things.
Yeah, like I can just say like, oh, this calories should mean you lose fat, but then like that's easy. But then like knowing what comes with that and the hunger and the daily fucking
for
grind.
Me to have like there was points when I was in bodybuilding prep, I was on 900 calories a day at one point, and so like to know what that extreme hunger and the brain fog and all that sort of stuff.
Or in a powerlifting prep, knowing that like there's that crossover point of when you're going through the more voluminous phase to a little bit more intensity and stuff, or like when you're doing low bar and you're fucking those initial signs of the bicep elbow, like not the deep ones, but like those little things first, like knowing what that feels like, and then I can go to somebody and go, how's your shoulder feeling? Like, oh, just getting a little thing. I think it's from bench press. And I'm like, no, it's from squats.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of, you've been there.
I think it helps to be able to just relate to your client.
100%.
And exactly as Mikki, as you said, like knowing what that extreme hunger feels like for a bodybuilding client. And then as well with like powerlifting, knowing what those little niggles feel like. And
when you're doing
instead of just having instead of having a client turn around and be like, oh, I'm hungry. And you're like, yeah, hunger's normal, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, no, like, I am hungry. Like you don't understand. Like I went to bed with water and sadness last night.
Like, I used to tell people, because I've obviously like had a couple of bodybuilders we've prepped and stuff like that. For me, when I was going to bed in that like extreme hunger, I used to think like sleep is a time machine
to get to the next meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard so many people say that.
That's what I say all the time. Sleep
little
is a
things
time
like
machine.
that. Yeah, little tricks. You trick yourself into it almost in a way. A lot of these.
Yeah. But so your training's changed up. You're doing some ollie lifting and stuff
some
like
of that.
At the moment.
Some little plyos in there. Still got some powerlift stuff in there as well, but minimal.
Bouncing Wilbo is my favorite Wilbo.
Getting more bouncy. Well, yesterday was the first time I've done those like pogo drills and felt like I wasn't just absolutely hitting a brick wall every time I hit the floor. Like the first time I did them, I was like every bounce wasn't a bounce. It was just like an impact, like smack on the ground, just rattling every joint I had.
Learning how to absorb force a bit better.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Well, that's again the thing that I've learned is that it doesn't take long before it feels. They're far from perfect, and I'm never going to be like a springy person. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't align with the goals, but like the adaptations happen quick, and I already feel like when I hit the ground, it doesn't just rattle me as hard, and I'm ready for the next.
Been my favorite thing watching you two train together, actually.
That's what I was.
Because I don't think that's ever happened. Like watching you two actually train together and physically doing the same things is actually cool.
Well, Mikki's Mikki.
I bet you love it.
I don't. Well, I have no interest
skipping
in
the
doing,
ollie lifts.
Yeah, I have no interest in doing ollie lifting. So
she's doing her thing.
Yeah, I do. When Will, so Will will do the ollie lifts, and I'll do the trap bar RDLs and belt squat, and then we'll go upstairs and we'll do the accessories together. And then there's another session that we do together, and we train in it. It's really annoying though because we have to load up the plates differently and stuff, but it is what it is. So
it's all right.
We haven't done the hill sprints together though because I want to whoop your ass.
Have you done them yet?
Yeah.
Where are the videos?
I wasn't there.
I've got them.
I can't remember where I was, but I wasn't there when he
The
was
hill
training.
sprints,
Which hill did you do?
just our driveway. Yeah.
Your driveway.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Oh, it's
yeah,
all right.
for those hill
That's
sprints.
Mount Everest.
It's a steep
It's a
driveway.
steep incline.
But steep is better in this case. Well, to a degree.
You wanna
Like,
keep-
obviously, I'm not. You don't want to be actually fucking climbing up it, but it's on the steeper end that you can run up for sure. And it's good though because like the whole point of starting with a resisted sprint, like a hill sprint, like a sled sprint, like a prowler sprint, like a something like that, is it's to align you posturally so you can't really fuck it up too bad because big boys running, as Coach Jack learnt, striding out trying to catch the kiddos is no good.
I think there needs to be context to this. He wasn't like just chasing kids around or anything like
No,
that.
he was.
Like
Yeah, that's exactly what it
School
was.
teacher on an athletics carnival day.
Yeah, it was
coming around the bend.
Beat the kids race.
Yeah,
blew the knee
teachers
out.
versus students.
Yes.
Yeah, the
And
running
it was the
technique
hamstring
doesn't.
that led to the knee anyway, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Hamstring went first.
Yeah. Hamstring
went
went, fell to the ground on the knee, smash.
Blew the knee out.
But yeah, that will happen with when you're not good at running and you're not built for it, and the postural that kind of you get from that you develop from powerlifting and being a stiff boy. So
extension.
the resisted sprints, like the hill sprints, help you kind of like stay away from those top end speeds, help you get in the kind of right posture. You can't overstride out because the ground's closer, kind of. So you can't fuck yourself up as much. And I know all this, but still, when I did that first couple, I was like, I really don't know if I can do this. Like my brain was still like, you can't run. Are you fucking
That's what happened
serious,
to me.
Well,
mate?
you
had it
ran
in-
on our conditioning class.
That's what happened
That
to
was
me when
that
we
was a
had the
slow jog
conditioning
though.
class.
Very
Yeah.
different.
Not for me.
Yeah, you had to race.
But you can't
Sammy.
fuck
got
yourself up
hounded
on
by
a
a-
slow jog.
I got hounded by a greyhound. I was sprinting
You
full
sound-
scale, and I was like just watching the footpath be so uneven and like trying to alter my stride as I went. And it's the most
You had
the
an
worst
Australian
running I could
hockey
possibly
player,
do.
Had an Australian hockey player on his tail the whole time.
sprinting.
Jamming you.
Telling me she's going to jam a cone up me if she catches me. She's 5 foot.
Yeah.
She's a fiery little
It's
whippet.
scary.
But yeah. But it's actually sprinting, like putting in full effort, because obviously my knees have had their issues and stuff, and I was kind of like a little bit worried about it and going like, fuck, mentally, just I don't know. Even this should be okay in theory, but practical, you know what I mean? And again, this is something you draw on with clients all the time. Is like, I know you're going to be scared of new movements, and you might think when I have people coming back from like a pec tear or something, I'm like, I know you're going to be scared as fuck getting under that bench press or whatever, but you need to just. We need to, there's strategies we can use to get past it, but it's a mental thing.
It's definitely hard. I remember when I tore my quad, the same thing.
Yeah, to get back under
the
that.
first heavy squat, as soon as I went back to the same weight, I was shitting bricks, and it was a weight I've squatted.
But that's a
heaps of
really
times.
that's a really good thing to be in, because it's a lesson that you're going to encounter with clients at some point.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I did them, and I was like, holy fuck! Like I don't feel near as bad as I expected them to feel, and I survived, and it actually felt really good.
Fuck
So
yeah.
We'll see how we go with the. I'll take
couldn't
some
do them last
videos.
week
Yeah,
because
you gotta
Upload them on stories.
yeah. Yeah.
Wilbur's going to have
I'll
Put it in
broadcast.
like 1.2 speed. But
have
don't
it as
tell
a
people.
broadcast channel now. People can subscribe just to watch
Fuck
Wilbur
yeah.
do athletic endeavors.
I'll upload them in there.
My OnlyFans, but it's just me running.
No, broadcast channel, because that's more professional.
Okay.
You still get cash money.
Do ya?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm mad.
It's just Instagram's
Will
version of
doesn't know.
OnlyFans.
Will doesn't know how the broadcast channels work.
Wow.
We don't have them.
Too hard.
We might have to go set one up.
But yeah, no.
Going
Last week
into
we couldn't do with the storms or the rain. It would definitely make it more of a challenge. Don't want to be sprinting up our slippery driveway in the rain. So
No,
couldn't do it last week, but this week back into it. Speed. I am speed.
I can't wait to see it.
I am.
And what about your training, Mickey?
I'm just
the
doing
year ahead?
what Will's doing.
Following along.
I
don't really have anything. I have some big work stuff that I want to just.
Yeah, we'll
That's
dive into
where
that.
my energy is at the moment. Is all work related stuff. So
Last year
Yeah.
we went through the Nexus kind of achievements for last year, which was quite a lot with the new gym and the new
A lot of
a lot of
evolutions.
everything.
Yep.
There's a lot of learn, as in like learning phases. I call them like from last year, like as in like development phases, like developing our new products,
services.
developing our services, and refining things. a lot of changes. Not a lot of pushing, and this year will be
my 2 words, and I did a
more
post.
pushing.
Yeah, I did a post on this. My 2 words for 2024 are settling with those changes that we've made.
Yeah, rather than just continually changing.
Yeah. So settling with the changes. There'll be refinements, I would
Always.
say, but settling with them, and then growing. So I want to grow the client base. I want to grow coaches' skill sets. I want to grow into some more education stuff, and really put ourselves back into a powerful position. I feel like when you're in a long time of evolving things, you don't feel like the brand is as powerful as what it has been, because you're spending so much time focusing on back end stuff. It's not really seen from the front end. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the position that I want us in for 2024. Is obviously, like, we open the gyms and we've had like growth on the front end from that perspective, but I truly want to make sure that we're back in a powerful position.
So what are some of the bigger
stuff that we've got going on at the moment? So we are literally in the middle of a launch for our upcoming powerlifting nutrition course. So that's kicking off on the 5th of Feb. Jordan and myself will be running through with that. We've got a new manager starting up in the Townsville space. So I'll have to head up there and get Benny Boy up to speed.
Get him on the pod.
Get him on the potty, maybe. Yep. So there's a couple of things there. We'll obviously have, I've been pushing Will the last couple of days to think more on his mentorship and when he wants to be doing that, and how we want to do the mentorship moving forward as well, whether or not we want to make any short courses or masterclasses and workshops and things like that as like branch offs from it. So it's not just the 12-week thing. There can be other, branches within that. So those are a few things that we're kind of like toying with the idea of, and might be coming over, not the first quarter of the year at least. That'll probably be second and third quarters, but those are a few things that I really want us to push into. In each of the gyms, we've expressed we want to do more small group sessions as well. So the Townsville guys, Jason's been on annual leave since forever.
Does he come off annual leave?
Yeah, he comes off in the end of January, so he'll be kicking off the small group classes up there. And then obviously with yourself in here as well now from February, I want to have some small group classes roll out.
In the morning.
In the mornings here. We've already got them happening up in Townsville, so I'd like to see them sort of kick off here on the Gold Coast. So that's kind of where our efforts
I love those small groups.
Yeah.
I've been really enjoying them, covering them for Alex whilst he's been away.
What's your favorite part about them?
It's honestly like, it sounds just chatting shit with the boys. Yeah. It just feels like you're just hanging out with the boys.
That's why I like them.
And the girls when they turn up. Like, it's sick.
In a big group, like if you were to run like a class with 10, 15, 20 people.
It's a little bit harder to have that connection.
Well,
like
the
you connect
vibe
with
is
people
there.
Yeah.
But you never feel like you're getting results with people because typically when you have a big group, like say there's like 30 people in there or whatever, like there's going to be a pretty big difference in skill and fitness and just general, like where people are at in training between the best person in the room and the lowest person in the room. And you always have to cater to that lower person in the room, so it can be hard to progress the highest person in the room. Like they're not going to get as much out of it at that point. And that's what we found when we used to do boot camps and stuff back in the day.
Not even that. Some people just fall through the cracks a little bit.
Yeah,
as much as you don't want it to happen, it's when you're one person, you've got 30 people.
It's part of it, yeah.
It's fucking hard.
And then one-on-one, you're obviously going to get the heavily focus on the results and personal stuff, but it can, I don't know, yeah, the vibe, it's a I wouldn't say it's not there, but it's just different.
Yes.
Yeah, and then when you get in those small groups, it's the banner and the boys are, it's all that little bit of friendly in-house competition.
Pushing each other, helping each other rack.
Yeah. So in my opinion, the most value thing that we do in the gyms, I think there's for where it's priced and for what people get out of it, it's the fucking I love it. I love it as a service, and it's something that I wish I had access to myself back in the day. But I feel like we almost made it ourselves back in the day. Like we got it, we're like, okay, when's everybody meeting at the gym? We're gonna do it. And
yeah, exactly. You'd go meet with the boys. Okay, where we're going? 4 o'clock. Chest. Yeah, done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another big area over the next quarter is just growing those sorts of things, and obviously when they grow, revenue grows, membership base grows, results, all that sort of stuff. The Gold Coast facility, I really do want to upsize. I want to get into a bigger space. We've talked about up to double the size of where we're currently at. So
yeah, I feel like we have really great utilization of the space in here. We
mm,
have enough machines that you can train everything well. We have picked versatile equipment. We've done stuff like put the plates on the poles and really like stretched it for what it is.
made use of the space, but I feel like we're in a position now where it's just time to offer a little bit more.
Yeah, I would love to get a few more machines in. We've got heaps of machines under our house
Yes.
to take advantage of.
Yeah.
We've got more of a gym under our house than most gyms.
Yeah.
So,
and I also want to be able to offer more events as well. So, like federated things.
Federated
Because
comps.
a few of our members are sort of at that position now where, they've done the novice comps, and it's a great way to introduce people into the scene and the sport. But I think that giving them a platform to do a federated event is the next sort of thing for us. So
also strongman, like Townsville strongman
is huge up there.
is huge, and for good reason. It's fucking fun.
Yeah.
The Nexus games here showed that there's people that want to do it.
Yeah.
And I think there were a few people here after that were like, that was sick. Like, I want to do that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Even as training, right?
Yeah.
Like, want to fucking throw some shit and
flip some tires.
Just do different stuff. It's a fun way of training, and it's a fun way to implement the conditioning side of it.
Yep.
So I definitely want to get more of that in.
We want to have a bigger facility to accommodate different training styles, more events, more people, and utilize, more equipment and stuff like that. And there's been times in here where it's not busy by any means, but people need to work in a little bit more closely and be a little bit more considerate of their time usage of equipment and stuff like that. And I love it when we come in here and it's a busy, like last night was a pretty busy afternoon.
Yeah, it was.
The car park was full, but I feel like everyone was working in well together, and it wasn't like, you're waiting half an hour for a piece of equipment or anything like that.
No, it's not got to that point yet.
Yeah.
No.
But we definitely want to make sure that, we're keeping our eyes peeled for a facility still on the southern end of the Gold Coast. So that'll be another goal of ours within this year. And then obviously...
Yeah, that's the hardest part. I personally think, and I'm definitely not biased, but I think we're in the best place in the world. Like, I think where the gym is, and
I've already got the spiel down. It's early heads, Gold Coast, Australia. Like, I can't change it.
It's it's like, I don't know, just a fucking prime spot. Like and I just don't want to move from here. No.
We did actually have a look at a space down in Currumbin, just saying, but it was a little bit too far south.
Right next to the beach. That's perfect.
Yeah.
When I say don't want to move from Burleigh, I mean, like, you can go a suburb out, but like, I don't want to move to midway up the Gold Coast.
No.
It was another 10 minutes south of here, and I was like, it's just traffic. a little bit too far south.
Yeah.
So we have inspected a couple of places already, but that won't, I would say that's probably another few months away. We still need a few more people in the door. So that's another goal of ours that we've kind of got. And then obviously the Gambaru is another area as well that I want to make sure that we maximize. So offering it to our members within the facilities here, keeping people affordable coaching services or programming services.
Yep.
And then the people that are within the app, if they want to be doing a powerlifting comp, that there's buy-in and trust and a relationship built with us, so that if they want one-on-one coaching, that they can work with us. So those are kind of the goals that
for Nexus. I've just literally wrote more courses, more events, more workshops and education, more fucking just
clients,
bigger, better, in your face.
Bigger.
I definitely want to get out and do more event
workshops. That's
workshops and stuff like
expressed.
that.
Yeah, workshops was like the big thing for me as well. It was like that education workshop sort of stuff.
If you're in Melbourne, maybe keep your ears pricked, because I might have something to come in.
Josh is like,
I like Melbourne.
Maybe Josh will be there. We never know.
Yeah.
My dad would like to see me.
He can come. It's a cheap ticket.
Mate.
Sorry, Dad, you got to come pay to see me. I'll be there for an hour. You get 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. make sure you bring some good questions.
What else have you got, William?
Nothing, just like that. That just generally bigger, better. Want to get out in front of more people and just
I think that's more
be
of
out
what
there more.
we do, like more of what Nexus is.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
With
As far as
people.
like last year
We're
was the
able to-
learn and the refinement
this
and the
grow
development. This
into
year's
that.
Yeah.
fucking here's what we got.
We're the
Yeah.
people. So that
Yeah.
means you need to show up on socials, mate, because your socials last year
Hey,
was
he's been on there like twice this year already.
Oh yeah. Well, now with my trains and stuff, I'll I'll get more confident. in
There'll be
posting
more
it.
training content coming soon.
This
from
week.
us. And every content.
My lifts looked a little bit more like how they should. And I'm like, we're getting close to like being able to.
I think you realize. I think you
upload it.
forget that people would actually probably froth seeing you fucking struggle more than they would seeing you succeed at that.
Yeah.
Because it then shows them that they're like the same.
Yes.
Someone coming in for the first time trying to squat, bench, or dead, and they look like they've never done
He
any of it in
knows
their
that,
life.
but it's the him overcoming that hurdle of
Yeah, I think just having fun with it.
fear of what
Like
other
us
people think.
uploading just fun shit like that, people are going to
Yeah.
love
You
because
suck at something.
yeah, if they see that we or you or anyone sucks at something as well, but they know you to be like the man at this, then they're like, fuck, okay, it's actually normal. Like, I don't feel like such a dick.
Embrace the suck.
Yeah.
And like I said, the goal
And then
for
they
me
can watch
is
you
to get
succeed,
back.
and then it's like, okay, this has been the journey. Oh, it does actually happen. I can see progression.
Yeah.
The
Stick
goal
with
is still to get back to powerlifting and to hit those numbers. So I don't want to. Yeah.
You're not straying from that. This is just giving you
This is not like going the scenic route.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Embracing the suck so that because we talked about this with Thomas when we had dinner with him the other day as to why you've gone down this route, and a lot of it is because you've walked into squat sessions and stuff like that, knowing what you're capable with your squats, and then just feeling constantly disappointed because you're not hitting what you know you're capable of. Whereas walking into an ollie lifting session where you have zero expectations, zero pressure, and you don't know what you're capable of, you're never really disappointed walking away from that session because
you can't fail. And you know the other thing is, I don't know what a good number is. Like I don't.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm avoiding watching Russian women or something.
This is
Russian women or Chinese teenagers.
This probably ties into
13-year-olds cleaning more than me.
This ties into the notes that I had around this whole goal setting podcast topic of today, which was focusing less on the end outcome and more on the process.
Yeah.
So being process driven.
Well, these are notes that we
outcome
had
driven.
for people that are
setting goals themselves.
Yeah, I mean, this is the goal setting. I mean, you're always goal setting, but like at the start of the year is a big goal setting period. So like you had these notes down to more talk through what when you're having this conversation with your clients or gym members or stuff like that. Like these are the sort of stuff. So
embrace the suck a little bit and just kind of focus on the process of getting better and seeing those small marginal changes over time, like banking wins, building momentum. Those are things that we say quite often for this very reason. So yeah. But I think for you, having less pressure and expectations on each of those sessions is probably one of the reasons why you're enjoying it. Even yesterday, like I remember getting in the car, you're like, fuck, I don't want to train. Like I don't want to, you're having a bit of a shitty mood before you got to the gym. And then by the time your session was starting and done, like you were in good spirits sort of thing. Whereas I feel like I recall when you were having sessions and then you were going into squat and your knees would hurt or whatever, then it would just continue to that
spiral.
frustration would continue to elevate and you'd spiral. Whereas now, like walking in and just being like, oh, okay, this sucks and I suck and that's okay. Like it's just a different sort of mindset that you have coming out of it.
Yeah. But there's less expectation being perfect and stuff, and more on just being better.
Yeah. But yeah, so a couple of the
human.
questions that I like to ask people when we're going through this goal setting process is, as I mentioned, like not being so focused on like, I want to be X body weight or, those sorts of things, because sometimes that can only set you up for disappointment if you don't accomplish those things. And if you do, like if you do have I want to be, 105 kilos or something like that before I do this and do that, like that's totally fine. I'm not saying having numbers or key outcomes is a bad thing, but I think it's important to make sure that you're understanding why those things are so important to you. So that's one of the questions that I like to ask people is like, what are you sort of looking for, and why is that sort of thing so important to you, so that you can really
the diving into the whys is the
Yeah.
is the most important part of that, because
Yeah.
if you want to be X body weight, it's a why.
Yeah.
And then because I feel healthier at that, or I feel better at that, or like I look better at that, or whatever. Like it's and then you can kind of keep diving deeper and deeper,
Yeah.
but like your goals can become a little bit more
Yeah.
refined
I think
if
it's
you do ask why.
understanding your values, so that you can align your actions to those values. Like, if the more you understand why those sorts of things are so important to you, the more you're likely to actually adhere to the actions that you're implementing.
That's what I was about to say, is that adherence is like the buy-in almost from
Yeah.
both, even as yourself. Like if you set yourself a goal and you're like, yeah, I want to be 105 kilos, and that's just it.
Yeah.
Kind of like when you
get there, then what?
it's even the fact of like, oh yeah, I could be 105 kilos by the end of the year.
Yeah.
I could be 105 kilos within 3 months. Very different things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
then if you're just like, it doesn't matter, like I'll still get there eventually, or this, that, or whatever. Even when I used to work with clients more on nutrition way back in the day, it was always like, if a client would come to me, generally I'd say Gen Pop are the people that come to me more with like, I want to be
Weight
XYZ
loss.
weight.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to be this weight because that's a size 6, or this is, and I would always go, okay, that's cool. No problem at all. We can set that as the goal. Let's have a look at maybe some performance-based goals. Let's have a look
Yeah.
at some other based goals and see
Yeah.
where we're at. And
Well,
often
let's look at the things that are going to
How
get
do
you
you
there.
Well,
how
exactly.
do you feel if you don't get there?
Yeah, and then oftentimes through that process, their end goal of like XYZ body weight would change, because they're like, oh, I love being this weight. Like I
Yeah.
feel powerful, I feel strong, I feel energetic when I get up in the morning. I
Yeah.
can go and do these
My clothes
things.
still look really.
I
Yeah.
fit better in my clothes, but I'm like the same weight, and I'm like,
Yeah.
because we're now like
It's just
we're thriving a
understanding.
little bit more. Yeah.
Understanding that. So so those are a few things why those things sort of important to you. But when there's people that actually come on board, I like to ask them, like, what's motivated you to be here now? So what changes have happened over the last couple of weeks, months, or whatever, that's motivated you to be here today? And that is another way to pick what the goal is.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Or why the goal is important, or what they've kind of been through to land in this situation now. And then the next one after that is like, how do you need me to help you? So if the more you can get people to talk through the process and explain and just talk through how they're feeling and what they're thinking and stuff like that, the more you can get into goal setting, understanding their why, and hopefully having them influence their own decisions, rather than you constantly having to provide the answer to all their problems. Like, if someone can give themselves their own answer,
You
they're
need
more
to be
likely.
motivated.
Yeah.
You need to feel like you're in control.
Yeah.
It's part of the how we work as humans. Like we need
Yes.
there needs to be some level of self control to it to be able to be motivated towards something. It is what it is.
Yeah. Then the final thing that I have here as well is, like, who else could you ask for help in achieving this? Like, what is your support network like? Like, I remember talking.
Those around you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I remember talking to Jordan about this off air a little while ago. Like, one of the last clients that not last clients, but a client that we had like close to a decade ago in Cairns. Sadly, her husband was not overly supportive of her endeavors to lose weight and some of those sorts of things. So she didn't really have a support network at home. So she really, really leaned on the relationships that she built with Will and myself and some of the clients that we had in the gym, because they all shared a common purpose. So though she may not have had an environment at home that was supportive of her goals, she had a social network of people that understood what she wanted, why that was important to her, and helped her through that process. So yeah, like, just having a support network of people around you, and communicating why these things are important to you, so that they can understand.
Yep.
They don't necessarily have to be dieting with you whilst you're dieting or any of that sort of stuff, or putting weight on if that's what your goals are, but at least understand why these things are important to you, and giving
helping you where they can. Giving you that little bit of extra support, or even that a little bit of accountability.
Yeah.
Like helping you if you had a big day and you come home, you're starving, you're just like, oh, I just want to eat this. And they're like,
Yeah.
Let's
Try
have a
this,
think about the
or
end goal.
let's go do that, or
let's go
yeah.
do something else, or let's try and distract you from it, or
Yeah.
whatever that case might be, to
Mm.
just help. Like, I think that's
Yeah.
really important, is having support from maybe not someone at home, but
Just
people
understanding.
around you. Yeah.
Yeah. People that can understand what you're going through, and not always have to be the coach's responsibility. So
Mm.
yeah, that's my little spiel on the goal setting stuff.
People often come to us with goals, less around I want to be this body weight, and more around I want to lift this, as in like, I want to do a 300 kilo squat.
That's been my goal for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And then it'll be,
We'll get there.
I mean, I like having a goal like that, like having a big goal, but then understanding that like that's just like a thing that's
on
there.
The vision board, manifested.
Yeah. But then you don't get there by having that goal. You get there by doing things daily, or weekly, that are gonna be steps towards that.
Yes.
So it might be like
more reps,
having better nutrition, or sleeping better, or actually finishing my sessions, or holding myself back from overshooting, or even something as simple as like, I'm gonna make more of an effort to take videos of my lifts, so that not only can my coach give me feedback, but I can like see and identify things, whatever. Like it can be the smallest fucking thing, but if you know that something is like impacting those little, the goal and getting there, those little things, they add up. So like just focusing on a few
was saying
things.
with the process, like enjoying the process.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
So like my goal for the last 3 years has been to squat 300. I knew 3 years ago I was not going to squat 300. But for me, it was like not within that time frame. No. It was just literally that was like, okay, this is the goal. To get there, I need to do this. Okay, the first step is I need to squat 275 and then 280 and 285, 290, etc. Like build that up towards the big main goal, so that not only do you have this little end goal that when you get there, you're like, yeah, this is sick, hooray. But you've had these little goals and wins along the way. As I said, stacking wins, building momentum. If you just had a goal of 300 and you're at 240, it's a big, like, all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, that's a very long way away. I'm never going to achieve it. And then it starts to become, the goalpost is a little bit like, oh, maybe that's not achievable. But if you have a goal of an end goal of 300, and then your process between that is like, okay, cool, I need to just squat 250 next. All right, cool, 260. Just bump those little things up along the way. Okay, look, we're probably running a little bit of a snag. How do I do this? Get bigger quads. Okay, cool. Let's, like, just different little processes that you can do.
Yeah.
Get better sleep, get better nutrition, recover better.
And all those
train
things
a little bit less, maybe train a little bit more.
they're all these little things that led to the in this case 300 goal are going to lead you, also are going to keep you going beyond that as well.
Yes.
So like focusing on them and things that are going to get you there are going to keep taking you on.
Well, Will's always had this goal of 400.
Yeah.
Like that's you want 400 more than you want 1,000, don't you?
Well, I would really fucking hope that if I got 400, I can get 1,000 with it. Like there's no
like, token bench.
If I go, man, if I get a 400 and then I lose 30 kilos off my bench, I'll be like, what am I doing? So unless I blow out my shoulder or something, there's no reason why 1,000 wouldn't fall with that. Yeah.
But if you hit 1,000 before you hit 400, would you be happy, or would you want that 400?
I'll be happy with 400 on either one. Yeah, I would be over the fucking moon. But 400 is just a big, hasn't been done before at my, it has been done by much, much bigger people, but not
at your body weight.
Yeah.
The 110s.
Yeah, it's a special goal because it's a bit unique.
Okay. Well, we got to keep our eyes on a few people. There are some other one. Actually, I'm just thinking, has it been in the lighter weight classes that any of those boys have done it? No, because they all squat in sleeves, don't they? Like John Hack and all that.
Oh no, it's been done by outside of Australia. Yeah, fucking oath, it's been done.
Yeah.
There's yeah.
There's a lot of people.
There's not. Yeah, it's still
probably some.
Within Australia, it hasn't.
It's still a relatively short list, but I think in Australia, last time I checked, there was only a couple of people in Australia that have done 400 in literally any weight class.
And I think Odell's.
And the couple of people that they were both like super heavyweight, massive, big guys. So if I got 400 in a comp at 110 or maybe a little bit more, it'd be a huge achievement, and I could be very happy with that.
Yeah, but it's just having that big goal and then having all these little goals that work towards it.
Yeah.
along that process,
Well,
as you said.
I know that if I need to get to 400, then I need to fucking enjoy my training and be able to put an effort to my training. So hence why, although my training at the moment might not look like it's helpful for that goal, and there would maybe be a bit more quote unquote efficient ways to get to that goal from a training sense. If you didn't know all this other stuff, it would look like a program that is not going to get me that
Yes.
goal. You know what I mean? But I know that I need to tick those other things to be able to shift into those goals. So it is, in a way.
Well, just so you know, there is 208 people in the world that have squatted 400 kilos or more. 208
Yeah. How
people.
many have deadlifted 400 as well? There's no filter for that.
It doesn't give me the filter to like do squat and
ChatGPT.
I know.
Run this for us.
No.
Run these.
Trust me,
run
there
these
isn't many.
numbers.
But yeah, it was a short enough list that I could
there was
manually count.
82 people that have deadlifted 400 or more.
Yeah, so it's already a list under 100.
I don't know why there's a few people that do 399.1.
Because pounds is the thing.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, yeah, don't bother.
Sorry. Just going down a rabbit hole there.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that wraps us up as far as goals.
Yep.
People know now what our goals are with Nexus, what our personal goals are to some degree throughout the year, and hopefully from it you can, I guess, have a little more of a think towards your 2024 goals. And
if anything involves nutrition, powerlifting nutrition course running now, 5th of Feb kicks off.
Anything to do with training, we do training too.
Yeah.
Very broad one there.
We just do training.
We do training things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure we can help.
We now offer Olympic weightlifting masterclasses.
If you want to snatch
Well,
as badly as me.
I do actually have a masterclass coming out on weight cutting. So the 15th of January, I'm running a master.
You want to cut weight and do Olympic weightlifting?
A free masterclass.
Oof.
So it'd be an hour long. We're going
Free.
over, weight cutting only. So if that's something that appeals to you, link in bio for our masterclass.
Mint.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yep. Happy days.
Lovely.
All right. Adios. Thank you for listening to the Nexus Unloaded podcast. Be sure to jump on our website to find details on everything mentioned in the podcast today, plus information on our coaching, mentoring, and gyms based in the Gold Coast and Townsville. Make sure you follow us on our Instagram for any updates on what we are currently doing, and we'll see you all in the next episode.